I wouldn't say got out of jail. I think we didn't play as well as we would have liked to have played, but getting out of jail insinuates that we shouldn't have won the game, and I still think we're the better team, although the Bulldogs played some really good football. I think you've got to admire the way Brendan's building that team and building the contested ball side of the game first, the defensive side of the game, and the rest will come. But it was an outstanding performance by, I thought, Western Bulldogs around the ball. I think giving us a hiding in their contested possessions by 32 and really they were pretty exciting with the ball too, and trying to keep our backs honest. I thought that the way they kept hitting up, hitting short, took our defence and midfield time to adjust to. And once we adjusted to that, it was probably okay. But until then, they looked like they were going to push us all the way.
That's more credit to them, their contested ball numbers, or do you think you guys are a bit off in that area today as well?
Yeah, look, the Bulldogs are an outstanding team in contested balls, so you have to be at your best. I thought guys like Stanton, Heppel and Goddard really stepped up in that area, but losing Job and Hocking and then Zaharakis going out of the game pretty much in the second quarter with a sore back, that's hard to replace too.
They obviously had more inside 50s too, James. So your efficiency, would you regard that as possibly different?
Yeah, I don't know if the difference was certainly something we've been working on. I think there's a stage during the year where we were beating our opposition by 15 inside 50s. I think we're number 1 or 2 in the competition in terms of differential in game for inside 50s. So we've tried to adjust our game and get more out of our inside 50s rather than just getting in there a lot and not scoring, and I think that's working for us. Matthew Egan's definitely doing a lot of work with the forward line, and we're getting goals from all sorts of areas. Last week it was Bell Chambers with 5 and Hurley with 3 this week. Winderlick pops up and kicks 4, so I believe that makes you harder to plan against if you got a number of options up forward.
Is that the best game Jason's played for the club?
He's played some good ones. I thought his game today was excellent, outstanding, but he's certainly, whether it's his best or not, he's played a lot of good games for the club and been around for a long time and been one of the leaders of our club for a long time, so it's good for him to get some reward tonight.
Yes, I just guess looking at numbers, 7 tackles, 4 goals.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's very versatile. Jason can play forward, wing, rotates through the back line for us as well, and a player who can do that and kick goals like that is a luxury.
It's a good story, I guess, coming from
It is. Jason, we weren't back at the club, but whether it was 4 or 5 years ago, had the back surgery and probably wondered whether he's going to play again. 2 years ago against Carlton, round 4, 2011, did his knee. Really didn't play a lot last year, so he's strung a lot of games together so far this year, and is a dangerous forward for us. And as I said, he's very versatile as well.
How do you think boys handled it without Job's leadership skills in particular?
I thought the leaders were excellent tonight. I thought that probably 3 of our best players were Brendan, Brent, and Dyson Heppel, and also Jason Winderlick. So they're all part of our leadership team, and they really stepped up tonight. Those 4 leaders, and Michael Hurley really worked hard in the forward line. So I thought our leadership group did a great job in Job's absence.
Brent, what was it like without Job? Obviously, it's the guy he is.
Yeah, it is. He's such a very. You feed off him, and his the way he leads is contagious, really. And don't get me wrong, we'd still love him to have him out there, but it is a privilege to be able to captain this football club. And the opportunity from James is fantastic, and we probably did miss him a little bit around the football with his leadership, but as James said, I think the other leadership group really stood up and took it by the scruff of the neck when the game got a bit tight.
Did it change much for you in terms of the way you went about it? Did you have to make a conscious effort to be more vocal or anything like that?
No, not really. I think I've been working on that for probably 2 or 3 years now, and being a part of the leadership group for 5 years, I think it's been a real focus point. And when James and Bomber came to the football club, it was a focus point for me. And I suppose that the whole group was a bit quiet when they first came, and now we're really getting a lot of leaders throughout the whole field. And I think that's the most important thing. That is, if we can share the load across the whole team, it's going to be a lot easier for not only myself, but when Job does come back, to lead.
Separately to the leadership side of things, just having him out of this team for a few weeks as a player, is it a good challenge for you as a midfield group to see how you handle life without him?
We'd love to have him back next week, and I don't think it's going to be possible, is it? I hope so.
I think so, mate.
Yeah, it is a great challenge, and we've been building a lot of depth throughout the midfield group for 3 years now, and as James said, Dyson Heppel through the midfield, David Zaharakis for even getting Jason Winderlich back through the wing, and even Jackson Merritt and these guys, David Myers, are starting to step up and really play consistent football, and I think that's the basis of our game in terms of becoming a consistent football team.
James, there's a bit of a conundrum with Jake Carlisle at the moment. I mean, he's looked more dangerous when swung forward than when he started for the last couple of weeks. Is it tough to know where to play him at the moment?
Yeah, look, he's very good at both ends of the ground. I thought his second half was better than his first half when he did go down back, and we're trying to build flexibility into our tools, and you don't want to overplay that because you want to settle the team down, but what it does do is it means we can swing them from either end, and where will Jake play next week? We'll have to have a look at who we're playing and who GWS have up forward or down back. So we'll adjust to that. But the great thing about Jake is he can play both ends of the ground, and it's not always easy to spend 2 years learning your craft down back and then expect it to click in straight away up forward.
I was going to ask that. So is it a challenge for him to be able to adjust within a game from week to week if he's needed?
Yeah, I suppose it is a challenge, but it's a challenge that a good player like Jake will be able to handle. You want to be able to switch at different stages. If the game's going perfectly, let guys settle down. But in this day and age of rotations, injuries, you have to have the ability to be flexible as a player, and we're building that into all our players. I think the great thing about today is we have a number of players play half back, play half forward, wing, midfield, and we can really rotate the side at any time.
How is Zachary Fletch?
Yeah, Fletch seems fine. Zach has got a knee to the back and he just wasn't able to move properly. The doctor doesn't think it's anything internal, which is good. Hopefully it's just a badly bruised back, and he'll be able to play next week. Thanks, guys.